Children make an arch with their arms. Other children walk underneath. The song repeats again and again. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. Then, at just the right moment, the bridge comes down and someone is caught. It feels like a simple playground game, a rhyme, a tune, a little bit of suspense. But behind those words is one of the most famous bridges in the world, and one of the most debated nursery rhyme origins in English. Was the rhyme about a real bridge collapsing? Was it about a battle? Was it about an old superstition? Was someone actually trapped inside the bridge? Or is the real story less dramatic but more interesting? What is the real origin of London Bridge is falling down? I'm Earl, the creator of Everyday Sayings and Origins. To keep each episode consistent, I use my digital likeness. Now, back to the story. The version many people know begins like this. London Bridge is falling down. Falling down. Falling down. London Bridge is falling down. My fair lady. It is one of those rhymes that sounds almost too simple to question. A bridge is falling. Someone is being addressed. The words repeat. The game continues. But the longer you look at it, the stranger it becomes. Why is the bridge falling? Who is the fair lady? Why do some versions talk about building the bridge up again? Why do they mention materials like wood, clay, stone, iron, steel, silver, and gold? And why does the game involve children passing under an arch and being caught? That is where the mystery begins. London Bridge was not just any bridge. For centuries, it was one of the most important crossings over the River Thames. It connected parts of London that depended on trade, travel, work, and movement. A bridge like that was not only a structure, it was a lifeline. If the bridge failed, life in the city was affected. People, animals, goods, carts, merchants, and travelers all depended on it. So a song about London Bridge falling down would not have sounded like a random image. It would have pointed to something people understood. Bridges mattered, and bridges could fail. Before the modern bridge people know today, London Bridge had a long and difficult history. There were earlier timber bridges, there were repairs, there were fires, there were collapses, there were rebuilding efforts. There was eventually a major stone bridge that became famous in its own right. For a city that depended on the crossing, keeping London Bridge standing was a constant concern. That may be the simplest root of the rhyme. London Bridge kept needing to be repaired. It could be damaged by fire, weather, heavy use, weak materials, or the river itself. And people remembered that struggle in song. The rhyme may not point to one single collapse. It may reflect the larger problem of trying to build and maintain a bridge that was always under pressure. That explanation is less shocking than some of the legends, but it fits the words very well. The rhyme is not just about the bridge falling down. Many versions are about trying to build it up again. Build it up with wood and clay. Wood and clay will wash away. Build it up with bricks and mortar. Bricks and mortar will not stay. Build it up with iron and steel. Iron and steel will bend and bow. The verses move through materials. One material fails. Then another is suggested. Then that one fails too. The song becomes almost like a child's version of engineering problems. What can we use to build something that lasts? Wood washes away. Clay will not hold. Iron bends. Silver and gold can be stolen. Every solution creates another problem. That is one reason the rhyme is so memorable. It is not only a collapse, it is a cycle. The bridge falls. People try to rebuild it. The new plan has a weakness. The problem continues. That is a very old human story. Build, fail, repair, try again. That may be the real heart of the rhyme, but of course people have searched for darker meanings. One of the most famous theories connects the rhyme to an old superstition called foundation sacrifice. In that belief, a person might be buried inside or beneath a structure to protect it and keep it standing. According to the darkest version, the fair lady may be connected to someone sacrificed or trapped to guard the bridge. That sounds chilling. It turns a children's game into something almost horrifying. The children form a bridge. Someone passes through. The bridge comes down. Someone is caught. You can see why people make the connection. The game itself looks like a capture. The song is about a bridge that cannot stay standing. The old superstition offers a dramatic explanation. Maybe the bridge needs a human guardian. Maybe the caught child represents someone being taken. But this theory is very difficult to prove as the specific origin of the rhyme. The superstition existed in different cultures. Stories of people being buried in buildings, bridges, or walls appear in folklore. But that does not mean this rhyme definitely began from an actual sacrifice at London Bridge. That is the difference between a possible symbolic connection and a proven origin. The dark story is powerful. It may explain why the game feels slightly eerie, but we should be careful before saying it is the real source. Old rhymes attract dark explanations because mystery invites imagination, and once a dramatic explanation appears, it spreads. Another theory connects the rhyme to a Viking attack. Some versions of history and legend point to Norse forces attacking or pulling down London Bridge. In that story, the bridge falling down is not slow decay, it is destruction, a military event, a violent moment in the city's past. This version is exciting because it gives the rhyme a clear historical scene: enemies on the river, a bridge under attack, London threatened, a song preserving the memory. But again, the evidence is not clean enough to treat that as the certain origin. The bridge had many problems across many centuries. It is possible that memories of attacks, collapses, repairs, and rebuilding all fed into the tradition. But pinning the rhyme to one exact event is much harder. That is a pattern with old nursery rhymes. People want a single answer, one date, one battle, one queen, one victim, one hidden meaning. But oral tradition does not always work that way. A rhyme can grow from many memories at once. It can absorb pieces of local history, children's play, old fears, and later explanations. By the time it is written down, the original moment may already be blurred. London Bridge is falling down seems to be that kind of rhyme. It is old. It has many versions. It appears as both song and game, and its meaning has been debated for a long time. That means the honest answer has to leave room for uncertainty. The rhyme is probably connected to the real London Bridge and the repeated effort to keep it standing, but the darker stories are harder to prove. Now, what about the fair lady? That line may be the most mysterious part. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Who is she? People have suggested several possibilities. Maybe she is a queen. Maybe she is a noblewoman connected to the bridge. Maybe she is a symbolic figure. Maybe she is simply part of the rhyme because it sounds good. Some versions of the theory point toward women connected with the bridge's funding, repairs, or history. Others connect the fair lady to the darker sacrifice idea. But again, no explanation has completely settled the question. That may be frustrating. But it is also part of what keeps the rhyme alive. The fair lady is a doorway into mystery. She gives the song a human figure, but not a clear identity. The bridge is falling and someone is being addressed. That makes the rhyme feel personal. Not just, the bridge is falling, but, the bridge is falling, my fair lady. It sounds like a warning, or a report, or a plea, or a line from a much older story whose middle has been lost. That is the power of incomplete language. A missing answer can make a rhyme more haunting than a complete explanation ever could. There is also the game itself. Children forming a bridge with their arms, others passing under it, the arch coming down to catch someone. That physical action matters. It turns the song into a tiny drama. The bridge stands. People pass through. The bridge falls. Someone is trapped. The body acts out the words. That is probably one reason the rhyme survived so well. Children were not only singing about the bridge, they were becoming the bridge. They were feeling the suspense of collapse. They were waiting to see who would be caught. A rhyme with a game attached has a better chance of survival. It is easier to remember because it is connected to movement. It becomes part of play, and play can preserve very old words long after adults have forgotten what they meant. That may be why London Bridge is Falling Down traveled so far. The tune is simple. The words repeat. The game is easy to learn. The suspense is built in. Every child understands the moment when the arms come down. Even if they know nothing about London, the bridge, the Thames, or medieval repairs, they understand the game. Pass through before you are caught. That simple structure lets the rhyme move beyond its original place. A local bridge becomes a global playground song, but the bridge was never just a playground image. The real London Bridge carried centuries of human use. People crossed it, bought and sold near it, lived around it, built on it, repaired it, complained about it, depended on it. That long life makes the rhyme feel different. When children sing that London Bridge is falling down, they are repeating a line attached to a structure that mattered deeply to a city. The bridge did not need a single dramatic collapse to become song-worthy. Its constant importance was enough. If a bridge is essential, its weakness becomes everybody's concern. That may be the most grounded explanation. The rhyme remembers the anxiety of maintenance. How do you keep the crossing open? How do you build something strong enough for water, weather, traffic, fire, and time? What material will last? What happens when it does not? Those questions are hidden inside the playful verses, and they are still human questions. People still build things they hope will last. Roads, homes, families, systems, cities, plans. Then time tests them. Some things hold, some things bend, some things fall, and people rebuild. That may be why the song remains satisfying even when we do not know the exact origin. It turns a practical problem into a rhythm. The bridge falls, we build it up, that fails. We try again. The rhyme is simple, but the pattern is ancient. Failure and repair. Collapse and rebuilding. That is much bigger than one bridge. Still, the dark theories will probably never disappear. People are drawn to them because the song has an eerie shape, a bridge falling down, a fair lady, a capture game, a repeated failure to rebuild. Those ingredients invite darker stories. And some old rhymes really do preserve disturbing pieces of history, so it is understandable that people look for one here. But the careful answer is this. The rhyme may contain echoes of real bridge troubles, old games, and possibly older beliefs about bridges and protection. But the strongest general explanation is that it grew around the real London Bridge and the repeated difficulty of keeping it repaired and standing. The sacrifice story is dramatic. The Viking attack story is dramatic. The Fair Lady theories are interesting, but none of them fully closes the case, and maybe that is fitting. Because the rhyme itself is about something that will not stay fixed. Even the origin will not stay fixed. Every time people try to build one explanation, another problem appears. Wood and clay wash away. Iron and steel bend and bow. Silver and gold get stolen. One answer rises, then another knocks it down. The history of the rhyme behaves almost like the rhyme. So, what is the real origin of London Bridges falling down? Most likely, it began as a song and game connected to the real London Bridge, its long history of damage, repair, rebuilding, and public importance. The bridge really did matter. It really did need constant attention, and the rhyme turned that anxiety into something children could sing and act out. The darker theories may be part of the legend around the rhyme, but they are not proven as the original meaning. What we have is not one clean answer. We have a bridge, a city, a game, a fair lady, and centuries of people trying to explain why the bridge keeps falling down, and that may be why the rhyme still works. It is playful on the surface, mysterious underneath, and old enough that every answer feels like another layer built on top of the last. If you enjoyed discovering the story behind this everyday rhyme, subscribe to Everyday Sayings and Origins. Each episode uncovers the hidden history behind the words, phrases, rhymes, and traditions we use without thinking. I'm Earl. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next origin. Peace.